Hello everybody, and welcome back to another game from the League of Dracula. And this is a match between Terminus playing as the Hunters and Herowwan playing as Dracula. Did I get the title right? I didn't get the title right! Oh no, I'm so sorry, people. I've messed that up. I'll fix that afterwards. Okay, ignore the title. It is Terminus is playing as Dracula today, and Herowwan is playing as the Hunters. My mistake. Sorry. I had to organize this in a rush. I thought this match was going to be at 8 o'clock my time, not 6. I've literally just walked in the door. Hey. Hello, Geordie. Hello, Quincy. Let's go, Hunters. Well, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it all goes. But yeah, nice if we get a Hunter win rate up. But at the same time, you know, Terminus is currently 0-3, so be nice to see him get his first win. Lol. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Geordie is wrong. I might actually be able to edit. Can I edit it while I'm streaming? Okay, this might cause the game to crash, or it could also cause me to go robotic. Hang on 1 second. Okay, right. That should be fixed now. I've reloaded the video, and the title should now be fixed. Okay, Bucharest is not Bucharest is not on the trail, and neither is Constanta. Good to know. Okay, so it's fixed now. Right, so yeah, we'll do that again. We got Herowwan as Hunters, Terminus as Dracula. This is the final game for both of these players in the first league phase. Both new players to tournament gameplay. It's great to see them competing. I haven't talked to Herowwan very much during the tournament, but a little bit beforehand. I've been talking to Terminus quite a bit. Mystic Research, okay. Oh, wow. That's a lot of Dracula events, and we were talking about it in one of the games last night, that if now Hoax goes off, that's just added more Dracula cards into the deck, or the discard pile for Dracula to pick from. We'll have to see. Very early Mystic Research. So yeah. Just supplying up. Nothing abnormal here. Herowwan decided to use Scott Sword setup. Is that a consecrated ground? Oh, snap. Right, I wonder if Dracula will notice that. I'll have to see. So yeah, Herowwan is currently 1-2. Herowwan lost both games to Spencer Wolfhard. Given the experience that Spencer has, that's no, that's no, what's what I'm looking for? There's no shame in losing twice to Spencer. Terminus has also lost twice to Spencer and lost the reverse match, so where Terminus was playing as Hunters. It was actually going... It was pretty even, honestly. Maybe Terminus was on the back foot a little bit during the game, but as the game went on and on and on, the Hunters were able to stabilize. And there was slightly this moment going, oh, is Dracula going to be able to... Because Dracula hadn't accumulated many points. And I think, yeah, it was in Amsterdam, right? I think there was where Mina jumped in alone into Amsterdam and got killed, and that just pushed the influence right up. So it was then an easy victory in the end for Dracula, but it might not have been. That's the thing. It was actually very close. The IDS didn't really reflect the whole story. Unearthly swiftness, says Geordie. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. What have you got there, Mina? A horse? Nothing to see here. And because she night supplied that, so it's not like Van Helsing could trade it off her. Sometimes I actually did it in a game against Landsknecht, where Mina supplied renewed vigor, and I very quickly traded it off during Van Helsing's night phase, and then Landsknecht actually messaged me last night because he watched the game from my perspective, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't notice that." Behind the veil, no fog. So it's not behind the fog today. It's probably behind the vampire. Yes, it is. So what else was there? There was aristocratic, bodyguards, wolves, mob. I have to watch back on my live stream. I've got my second monitor up, so I can see anything I miss. I've got a second chance to see it. Oh, rats. Okay, mob, vampire, rats, bodyguards. Interesting. Okay, good choice to get rid of reckless vampire. That makes a lot of sense. Terminus played a Dracula game last night. Unfortunately, there was no recording of it because I was occupied with the Randa vs Pizza Wizard game, and by the time that was done and we turned over, the game was pretty much done. There was a final combat, but there was a crash. They managed to reload the game, which is really good. It's really good now that Nomad have added this reload system. So they managed to reload, and then by the time I was able to reload, the game was done. So yeah, and then Terminus was talking about it with me afterwards, that Spencer was clearly doing some experimenting. I think there were some friendly games going on afterwards, and Spencer was doing more experimenting where he was walking, he had 2 hunters in Bucharest, supplied, scanned immediately, went into Austria-Hungary, scanned immediately, went into Germany, scanned immediately, so it was literally able to rule out all these regions. But that meant wasn't supplying very much, and I think maybe Terminus got a bit caught out by it, found it a bit weird. As a Dracula player, you have to watch very carefully what the hunters are doing, and if you can ascertain that the hunters do not have, for example, fast horses for movement, or they don't have heavenly hosts, or whatever, then you have to be able to adapt and play around that. I think there was, by the sounds of it, an unfortunate misclick in Bucharest where Dracula Dark called rather than Wolf-formed, which spelled Dracula's doom. That's okay, it's a learning experience. At least there's no wolf form hide misclicks like there used to be. That used to be a right killer for new players. But yeah, it doesn't matter if you're Hunters or Dracula, you have to concentrate for every single second of the game until you see that final screen at the end, because I think everybody in chat would agree with me, but I'll say it for myself. I've lost many a game when I've just let my concentration slip for 2 seconds and it cost me. So, yeah. So we'll have to see if Herowwan can win and go 2 wins out of the first 4 games. It's pretty decent. The next batch of opponents are going to be random as well. I can't remember now who they've got. Let me look that up. Terminus has Snuffleupagus and Worm Talon. That I remember. I don't remember who Herowwan has got. Because I've got a memory like a sieve. New. Herowwan has Strider and Ondrazot next. Okay, so again, we got an experienced player with Strider and a new player. So out of the 2 of them, yeah, maybe Terminus has been slightly screwed over because of the draw. But remember, once then those 4 games are done, then the next 8 games, so the remaining half of the league phase, is based upon league positions. So if Terminus is still struggling a little bit at the bottom, he'll play against opponents who are also struggling. Maybe newer players, maybe experienced players who are still struggling, and, you know, hopefully then we'll be able to accumulate some wins. Oh, it's called the Vice strategy, apparently, where you're moving through the different regions and scanning. It's been a theorized strategy. I get it. I think if you're looking at the game for the first time and you see suddenly Mina's got this ability to scan regions, I think you'd probably want to take advantage of that. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get many supplies. Yeah, because yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that the match didn't get recorded one way or the other. Because I would have liked to have seen that, and then we could have all done analysis on it. I've had it once played against me, and not as in such an extreme case as that, whereas Bucharest working inland. I think it's from the European League, maybe it was Skybreaker 18 months ago, where it was scanning France, Italy, Germany, I think. And I did get caught really quickly with it, in terms of the region being revealed. But then it's in going, all right. It's kind of like the quote from Shrek. It's like, oh yeah, you in what army, right? They might have found you, but they can't do anything about it because they haven't supplied and they don't have a lot of movement. So you just have to adapt and work around it. Still supplying makes a lot of sense. I haven't been checking any of the discards. We can do that momentarily. I've just been rabbiting on for about nothing really important for the last 5 minutes, but that's okay. How's everybody? I hope you're all well. Feel free to put in your predictions where you think Dracula is before he gets revealed, if there is a newspaper. My sound through my headphones sounds really weird today. Hopefully the audio's okay. Consecrated Ground, yeah, if there's a vampiric influence, that's getting sniped. It'll be interesting to see if Herowwan is able to use that effectively as well, because a lot of pressure when you use Consecrated Ground. It is a very powerful card, but if you misuse it, it's also it's a very difficult thing as a new player, right? Because you've got these really powerful events, and you might not know exactly when is the right time to use them. Especially since if you don't have a lot of your own playing experience and you haven't watched other people. I think this is why, video footage, doesn't matter who's recording it, but video footage is very useful to learn from, because you see other people using event cards, and you can see very clearly if it was a good use of the card or a bad use of the card, and you can learn a lot from that. France starts seeing popular in current meta. Yeah, I think during like the Immortal Invitational, and even before then in New Blood, and even in the League last year, East was very popular. That's why the superhero start, where you got Seward here instead of Mina, where Seward and Mina switch places, was developed to counter the East. But then that gets very predictable, because again, this is just going to get searched to oblivion. This type of setup, it is a little bit weak to the East. You got to be careful that Mina doesn't suddenly die by jumping onto Dracula's space accidentally, right? So you got to be a little bit careful. Southern Italy is a weakness. I've discussed this all before, so I don't feel like I'm giving away too much. But yeah, France starts seeing popular at the moment. Early wolf forms. There's no early wolf form in this case. Herowwan's maybe trying something different. Oh no, sorry, Terminus. Terminus is Dracula. Terminus is doing something different. That's absolutely fine. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to, it's something maybe we should have put on the Google form. Where was Dracula's starting location? Because it'd be kind of nice to get a spread, per region, at the end of the league. So maybe that's something we should have put down. But it's okay. It'd be better if Mina was in Paris. True, she is less isolated, but the problem is if Dracula starts in Spain, are you going to send Mina down alone where she can suddenly get battered into, Dracula's space or a vampire space, then she dies and then things start maturing? You could lose a game very fast that way. Sister Agatha. Alright, the lurking nun is in play. My headset feels really weird today. I don't know. Anywho, no newspaper. So that's good for Terminus. No rumor token though. So I have to see. See, I haven't seen Terminus play Dracula, because obviously that was the game last night. Herowwan playing as Hunters. He would have played Spencer as Hunters, but now I can't remember. He didn't win, but I can't remember now what happened. Doesn't ring a bell. Maybe I didn't watch it. It's very possible I didn't watch it. Oh, there's now a hypnosis on Mina. Oh my goodness, he used hypnosis and Dracula is right beside them. I mean, you wouldn't to know that when you cast hypnosis, but you feel pretty bad about it now. You could just find it with a psychic scan. Oh my goodness. I don't know how I feel about early hypnosis. I mean, I'm going to say it, I'm biased. I hate early hypnosis. I think you'll need hypnosis for later. Imagine now if Dracula wolf forms. You're not going to know where he's wolf form to. If Dracula goes to sea and then goes in different, could potentially go in different directions. You're not going to have the hypnosis for that. So, well, he's found him. It's Austro-Hungary. It's an Eastern start. Well, it might not be. It could be Prague. That'd be quite unfortunate for hunters, but also quite devilish from Dracula if he's in Prague right now and then moves out of Prague, and then Mina and Gadami all head that direction. Well, we've got a game on our hands. We've got a full trail to deal with. No newspaper, seemingly. Hunters filled up with events. They have consecrated ground, which is very powerful. Dracula did not wolf form. I'm just against hypnosis because I think it's more valuable later, but that's just me. I understand if you've got no newspaper and no Jonathan Harker, you need something, right? So you're going to use hypnosis to at least get some information, then you can start acting on it. Especially if all of these hunters are really well supplied up with events. Yeah, newspaper's been very shy these days. We haven't seen many immediate uses of newspaper. Alright, okay. But the problem is, the hypnosis only tells you Dracula's current location. It tells you nothing about these locations further down the trail. Do the hunters have movement? No wolf form. Risky. Yeah. But only if he doesn't get punished for it. If this is a hoax, sorry, I'm yawning a bit. I should have had my after lunch siesta, but I was watching a film instead. So I'm a bit sleepy. I haven't got tea with me either. If this is a hoax, this is potentially devastating, because you know there's at least unearthly swiftness in here. Because if Dracula noticed the consecrated ground, might take devilish power instead. Here goes Mina. Still nothing. Risky, but it is the first week and you should not fear the two hunters either. Yeah, I guess it depends. You know all about killing two hunters very early, don't you, Geordie? If the two of them always go together, then it's okay. There's just a risk that Mina bumbles into Dracula, but she has escape route, so she's actually quite safe here. Hunters should mass night supply to get that mystic research value. I think they've done. They've used their 2 supplies. There are only 2 night supplies because there are 4 Dracula cards here. 7, 10, 12. So there's 13 left, 1 on top. So it's 12 out of 44. That's better. That's quite a bit below normal odds. Would you risk a night supply though? They've definitely night supplied at least once. I wouldn't be surprised if they've night supplied twice. That's okay. Quincy, don't worry. I wasn't really either. I don't know if they've Night Supplied once or twice. I assume they've Night Supplied twice. I can't guarantee it. It's possible I missed it. If Herowwan hasn't used that additional Night Supply, that's then could be a problem. Right, here we go. Here comes the mature. Oh, no. It's a lair. Oh. But depending where that lair is located, that could be very good. Imagine now if Dracula goes back there and makes it a triple. This could get really bad really fast. Depending on how equipped. I'm assuming it's in the east. So, depending on how equipped Gadami and Mina are, this could be bad. Oh, look at this. Oh, somebody's been watching Spencer Wolfhart and Wisakajik. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's a triple. And you put a rumor token on that? That's going to be deadly. Oh my god. Oh, this is going to be fun for the hunters, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh, it's adjacent to Sarajevo. Oh my. Is it Valona? How's he done this? Valona? Oh, well, maybe you do ambush with Spy here. Because you got this triple thing very close. Oh, nice forewarned. That forewarned might be missed later, though. So what's he done? Valona, Salonika, Bucharest. No. Salonika. Sofia. Bucharest, Belgrade, Sarajevo. Yep. And also that's a thing, because of the way the Immortal update has been done, and the trail slides before Dracula moves, which is per the board game rules. Dracula can do these sort of like circles, and layer things a lot more effectively. Like this circle that Terminus has seemingly created is basically one city smaller than it would have been pre-Immortal update. Yep, I get that. Yeah, I think the ambush is good because it's not the immediate encounter, right? If Gadami bumbles into Valona, and there could be maybe, if there's a hide here too, there's suddenly then that's 4 encounters to deal with. Gadami's going to get beaten up a lot. Can't supply very much. So yeah, maybe it's worth the forewarned. We'll have to see though if Dracula can then use fogs and bats and things better later on. Okay, so it does look like that's... So it looks like that, you know, mega layer is in Valona. But we've got 3 other things which, well, we're going to potentially mature before this Belgrade. What do you think of the carriage use? To close in on to get up to Munich faster, so then you're able to sort of help out in the east if necessary. I like it. I'd probably prefer it a bit more if if Seward had gone like, oh, nice, oh, good, not to ambush with a saboteur, very nicely done. If Seward was somehow able with horses to get up to Genoa, and then was able to charge a carriage, that might be a little bit better. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think sometimes you have to apply a bit of pressure and get Seward over here, but at the same time, are they going to miss that chartered carriage later? That's the really tricky thing. We don't know what his movement is. If he has horses, I would have used horses to get up. You know, because you could easily go 1 move, 2 move, 3 moves, you're in Zagreb. But maybe he doesn't have horses, and he's stuck. And it's the only way he's going to get out. Don't know. Another layer. So that's probably Salonika. I assume rumor tokens are enabled. Yeah, rumor tokens are enabled. He's not using them. Yeah, Saboteur here is really good. And I saw it in one of the other games. I can't remember who it was, but somebody was ambushing. Oh, what? Oh, is this a hide card? Yeah, I like this rumor token a lot. Very good, very good, very good. Honestly, even if she wasn't delayed, I would not be sending 2 hunters into Valona. That's just a death sentence waiting to happen for them. Imagine if there's, like, here now, a spy, and then 2 wolves and a saboteur. Even if there's no vampire, you're almost one-shotting a hunter. Yeah, I think it's Hyde. Otherwise, he would have gone to Salonika to throw... Yeah, this could be awful for Herowwan to deal with. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. And then 2 could be triple vampire. Thing is, there's something that Gyro said, which is a good point. This could be a triple vampire, but then only one of them can mature. Ooh, I don't know about the renewed vigor. I like the ambition, but Mina's delayed. So renewed vigor is useless with delayed characters because they can't even use one of their actions to become undelayed, and then they use the second action. Oh. Oh, Godalming. Oh, Sunshine. You don't want to do that. Oh. Oh. This could be bad. Oh. What? Oh, oh my goodness, he didn't forewarn the spy because he had no weapon, because he didn't want to lose a weapon. He forewarned the spy because he didn't even have a weapon. Oh. Oh my goodness. There's no way Godalming lives here, right? Van Helsing could trade. He's got renewed vigor, so Van Helsing could land and trade an escape route. Mina's got one of the escape routes. What's the betting that Van Helsing has the other? Does Godalming have Lucy's Revenge? Yeah, good. Just get damage onto Godalming, and that's gonna be, yeah, just soften him up. Dracula has very little to fear here, because even if he takes a little bit of damage from Godalming, he has feed available. There might well be a Destroyed Soil kicking about in here as well. Oh, here we go. Here come the vamps. And it's now second week, so Dracula will get an extra influence for killing Godalming here. Wow. Yeah. Oh, man. I mean, he rolled horses. He didn't want to roll the 1, but still. Okay. That's okay. Because now dodge is not available for second round, so the vampire can attack. Godalming might heroic leap. Possibly, but he's going to die then for it. I guess then you do a little bit of damage to Dracula, but Dracula can heal up most of that damage. And then imagine there's a Desperate Soil right behind it. You've used heroic leap and killed a hunter for nothing. I guess you gotta take your chances, right? But maybe they don't have heroic leap. And if Godalming has no weapon, my gut feeling then, he must have horse, heavenly host, stake. That would be my gut feeling. But Mina's also got a stake. So between them, they've only got 1 weapon. Now, I wasn't paying attention properly who was discarding... Oh, there's a lucky find in here. Oh, there's another vampire. It is a triple vampire. Okay, that's definitely 7 points for Dracula. Oh my goodness. Dracula's also likely to go to sea. Well, who says? It's possible, but look, he can go into Salonika, triple encounter. Les Sofia, move there again, triple encounter. And they can go Constanta, Varna. No other hunters getting over here. Mina can't deal with it solo. And then these things start maturing. It wipes the trail, creates more space for him to go backwards. I think Dracula has very little to fear right now, especially since a renewed vigor's been played. So you know there's not going to be a renewed vigor later. Certain death, just play heroic leap. Yeah, especially in this situation, unless you've got an escape route or Lucy's Revenge. But Dracula could just stay in place if he wants. Oh, good plotting. I mean, dodging first makes a lot of sense here. It makes a lot of sense. I'd almost like to hear if Dracula doesn't go to Salonika immediately, because if Valona matures, Salonika gets removed. It'd almost be better here if Dracula can go like Sarajevo, then back to Sofia, and then to Salonika, maybe. So you got a triple encounter location still on the trail. Why wouldn't he just escape? I guess he was worried that Dracula would attack first, and then he'd be able to escape. Oh, and he decided to punch it. Oh. Gaddafi might die before the combat with Dracula. That's another point. Did he use... No, he didn't use the plotting. Really well played by Terminus there not to have used the plotting. This, you know, 1 damage onto the vampire is almost inconsequential right now. He can now fang again if he has fangs. Or even strength or claw and kill Gaddafi. If there is a great strength kicking about, it's used up before the combat. Okay, no fangs but claws. Oh, 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 is there great strength? There's a great strength! The vampire dies! Oh my goodness. Okay, well. I mean, at least he killed the vampire, so then you can get 2 hunters to gang up on these 2 vampires later to kill them. But then that's great strength gone too, and they got Dracula to deal with soon. Oh. I wonder if Herowwan had to deal with this with Spencer. I don't know. I didn't see the game. I wouldn't be surprised, but this is very, very hard for any hunter to deal with, let alone a newer one. Not sure about the use of great strength. I mean, I think killing one of these vampires is maybe best case scenario, because these 2 you can gang up on. You don't need stakes for them necessarily. It's tricky. It's very tricky. Okay, what's Van Helsing doing? Can Van Helsing do anything here really productive? Yeah? But would you really want Sewer to jump in here, where you got 2 vampires kicking around? Just asking for trouble. This is really rough. This sort of situation requires an enormous amount of patience from the hunters. You just have to deal with the other encounters, or you stand there, look menacingly, and wait for Dracula to move off the lair into a single location, and then pounce on him. That's the way you deal with this situation. Going into the triple, you know, encounter, or now it says it's 4. Quadruple, because of the high. The quadruple encounter location here is just not going to work. Unless you're loaded with, like, double escape routes, and you need a weapon. You need a weapon to fend off wolves and bodyguards. Yeah, this is brutal. So unless Dracula draws absolute, you know, what's the terminology we came up with? Mason's hand, right? 3 escapes and 2 plottings. Gadami's gonna die. And then suddenly left in a situation where you got 2 encounters we're gonna mature. Mina can't deal with the first one. You got this to deal with. Mina has 1 stake, but how are you gonna deal with the other one? Tricky, very tricky. I think it'll be looking at how the game pans out. If the hunter's able to stabilize and deal with these 2 vampires by ganging up them 2v1, or kill one with a stake and then do the other one, you know, 2v1, there's a trade. The other thing that maybe might be happening here is if Gadami has a really strong event, you remove it from him, like Consecrated Ground. So you don't lose it. Let's see. Is there an escape route? Oh, there's a heroic leap. Wow. Okay. So I think Herowwan came to the same conclusion that we did, that Dracula is, you know, gonna kill Gadami no matter what, so just guarantee 5 damage. Dracula can heal, though, Dracula can feed if he wants. This location is Bucharest, I would assume. Yeah, it has to be Bucharest. Yeah, he can just feed now. If he wants to, he can go into Salonika and then feed later. But oh, playing consecrated ground to stop him from feeding, I guess. Maybe you put it on Salonika so then you don't. He can't walk back into that lair location. Oh wow, he was really well equipped then. He had all 4 tokens required for consecrated ground immediately. There it is. Bats and a mob. So Dracula now has to misdirect either Sofia or Sarajevo or Wolfform. It also depends on what this is. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Imagine there's like desecrated soil. Oh, not desecrated soil. Ugh, what am I talking about? Devilish power, and you can just remove the CG token and then just feed in place. Wow. He could use Unearthly Swiftness, he could just hold that for later. Bloody hell. Now you're saying you should have played CG on Sofia. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think so. I personally don't agree with the use of Consecrated Ground here. I don't think it's going to be too limiting for Dracula. That's just my opinion. I'm just going to see what Terminus picks up here. There's quite a lot of choice. We know there's Unearthly Swiftness. But did Dracula maybe pick up something else? Probably worth it. Because, okay, Godami's going to spawn in this Budapest hotel and can tool up quickly. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I probably agree with it. If you know Godami's gonna die, if you don't have the escape route or something, then sure, just just sacrifice him. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I think, yeah, I'm just worried that Dracula's just gonna feed up, and there's a desperate soil, and then you know that heroically was almost for nothing, but it all depends on what these encounters are, of course. We know in Salonika there's no discred soul, there's only a bats and a mob, so it's not the strongest location, but could be really nasty if he goes back there, then pushes bats into, you know, into a couple of new vampires. I'll have to see. Dracula is thinking quite a bit here. I wonder why that is. Oh, Dracula just went to C instead of misdirecting Sarajevo. Oh. Interesting. Okay. The Consecrated Ground actually is doing quite a bit of work here because Dracula can now no longer, like, go back into the east by wolf forming through Valona. Yeah, hoax but sure. We don't know what Dracula picked up. Maybe this is Desecrated Soil, and Dracula just thinks that, you know, he can absorb, you know, this sea damage. I don't know how I feel about this. I would have maybe risked it and got to Sarajevo, and then wolf formed back into the Salonika lair, then done feed, and then leave. Because they've got time to do a Valona. Well, they've got no movement, that's the problem. If Godami's able to supply it very quickly and get back onto Valona, they can 2v1 it with Mina. Tricky one. Right, where's Mina going? Where is Mina going? She's going to Valona. Okay. She definitely has a stake. So she can stake one of these. What about the next one? Unless Swords in Venice maybe just sails across and helps her with it. Seemingly these two hunters don't have horses. I don't know. I thought Dracula was in a really strong... Maybe that CG was maybe better than we thought it was. It made... It made Dracula sort of panic and go to sea. Oh, that's not ideal. It made Dracula kind of panic a little bit and go to sea rather than misdirecting Sarajevo or just wolf forming. I would have preferred to go to Sarajevo and then wolf form to Salonika personally. And then you've got a lot of protection. You can because you don't want any hunters walking onto these bats because they can get pushed back after the combat with Dracula with 2 vampires at night. That's just asking for trouble. See, actually, maybe it wasn't a bad CG. I mean, it's been used up. That's the problem. I mean, in the last couple of turns, hunters have used Renewed Vigor, Heroic Leap, Charlie Carriage, Consecrated Ground. So yeah, they've used up a lot of stuff. So basically, Dracula has to kind of try and play in a way that he doesn't get caught very, very quickly. He needs to drag a lot of attention to the east. I don't know if there's enough attention here. Oh, use the escape route now? What happens when you stake? Maybe just stakes during the day, I suppose? I would have preferred to stake one at night and then escape route the night one. One thing is Dracula has spent a lot of vampires on this gambit. Yes, that's 3 vampires just in Valona. Good CG, not great CG. Yeah. No, I understand that. I would agree. It might work out though. It's like the same with the Heroic Leap, right? It might actually work out. We just have to see how the whole game plays out here. I really like what Dracula was doing here. I think by the looks of it then must have not picked up Devilish Power. Maybe Devilish Power wasn't available. Oh, he's staking it at night. Oh no. Oh wait, she has a forewarned. My goodness, the hunters were well supplied. Double forewarned and CG and renewed vigor. But now she's got to do... Oh, now she's got to go into a night combat. Oh no. That's not ideal. Yeah, I would have used the escape route here, not for the day. Escape routing day combats is only good if you want to try to avoid Reckless Fangs, or if you really don't want them to lose any health on it. But not right now. Oh, imagine if Mina dies here. Nice Mesmerize. Yeah, very good Mesmerize. This puts Mina in a real spot of bother. She's only got 5 health, so she could be clawed. I mean, she'll have to take a little bit of extra damage, but she could be clawed to death, or could now be fanged to death as well. We know she has a stake, so she can only have 1 fighting card at best. It could be a Heavenly Host, or it could be a knife. But once you know it and you can play around it, I think I would just plot here. If this is a vamp, should Dracula mature it? Good question. I don't think he'd be going... I don't think he would rumor this if this was a vampire. Maybe I'm wrong. Unless she has Holy Circle. Possibly. She could have Holy Circle. Plotting. Good plotting. Nice punch. Very risky punch, but good punch. Ooh. Exciting game. Very exciting game so far. And a lot of action already. Gotta love that, as a neutral perspective, gotta love the night fights, because there's so much more jeopardy in them. So very good punch there by Herowwan. Does the vampire have a second Mesmerize? No, here come the fangs. Oh, it was a rifle. Was scared of the claws. That's a meaner death. Plus, should be one more influence because of the bite. Right? Oh, did it get added automatically? It used to be done in, like, 2 iterations. Is that right? I'm gonna check on the live stream. It was 4 up to 8. Yep, that's correct. That's correct. 3 for the death, plus 1 for the bite. It used to be done in, like, 2 stages. Ooh, dear. That's a problem. No, he's layering Bucharest. If it's a vampire, then fair enough. But I think in any other situation, you would try to mature that. If it was a vamp, I think he should have matured. If he matures it, he'd be up to 12 points. Where are you going to get that other 1 point from? Oh, man. The hunters have no horses. Draken's had to move a second sea space, so you know he's an Ionian. Don't worry, Quincy. These are new players. The harshest lessons are the ones that they'll learn from the most. This is only maybe Herowwan's second hunter game in digital ever. Oh yeah, it's true, Geordie. Lost the second full ward. Yeah, it's pretty brutal for them. So now fogs are so safe. Maybe if you're Dracula here, maybe you just play really, do you play really ballsy here and go Sofia and then, you know, Wolf on to Sofia, Bucharest, Galatz, you just go into the castle to feed? They're all distracted, they come over to try and kill you, and this thing just matures. That might have to be the way. Dracula here can't go Wolfform to Sofia and then to Salonika, because then he's run out of room. Because this CG token is going to be really annoying. Yeah, Quincy, they're new. They've never been played in tournaments before. They've maybe played some practice games before the tournament, but very few. So, like, literally, we're talking about the two of them combined have probably played maximum, you know, 10 games on digital. So yeah, this is really tough, but you know, it's brutal for hunters, but at the same time, you know, they'll learn from it. This is very, I mean, experienced hunters would have a real issue dealing with this. Yeah, the hunters were really well equipped. I was really impressed that they were just not panicking. They were sorting themselves out, got really good events out of it. And I think that's the problem. When you get really good events, it is kind of like this thing that's burning in your pocket, going, oh, I want to use that. I want to use that CG. I want to use that renewed vigor. I want to use that full warned. But is it the right time to? But I'm sure. I was talking to Herowwan before the tournament, and I was impressed with, you know, his passion for the game, and so no doubt he'll learn from it. That's kind of what these recordings are for. Another sieve movement. Maybe Dracula's just gonna go to Cagliari and sit there and feed. Yeah, I mean they have to deal with this vampire, right? Otherwise it's GG. Oh, he did pick up the unearthly swiftness, so now it's almost impossible for them to stop Valona unless. I would have maybe held unearthly swiftness for 1 turn because now they can still sense of emergency, but they might have moved a little bit to think, oh, they can move. You know what I mean? But it's fine. If Dracula lands now, this vampire will mature before Dracula can feed. Honestly, it's gonna be kind of weird if Dracula wins with 6 health. That's a 6 IDS win. But that would be kind of almost a little bit generous to the hunters based upon the way everything's panned out. Dracula's still going to see. Dracula could have just landed somewhere. He didn't have to take that extra damage. Okay. A second renewed vigor. Goodness me, they have got all the events. Where is Dracula? Dracula has to be Mediterranean. There's nowhere else where he could be. Can the hunters stop this? They just need a sense of emergency and a stake, and that'll do it. Based upon everything else they've supplied, I would not be surprised if they've got that. Yeah, I think maybe... I agree, I think should have held Unnerving Swiftness one more turn. I don't think... you want to force Unnerving Swiftness to actually mature something. But that's okay. I don't think Dracula needed to also do another sea space. I think just go to Cagliari and putting something there. Maybe he was worried that about the distance. They would close in too quickly. Hide scouts. Very useful. That's very unfortunate. Oh dear. Seward... Oh no, Seward moved. Only with horses. Does Herowwan not realize that you can... Oh, it's only just red soil. Does Herowwan not realize you can move with horses and... Did I miss... Did Seward... Oh no, did Seward supply? Or was it Gadami that supplied? Am I missing something? Oh no, it's Van Helsing's turn. Oh man, Seward could have made it. Seward could have gone to Zagreb and then fast horsed onto it. Oh. Does Herowwan not realize you can do that? Maybe Herowwan misclicked on the supply by mistake. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hoping to top deck Sense of Emergency? Yeah, but if you've got horses, you could just move to Zagreb and then just roll the horses. I'd much rather believe in my horse economy than trying to top deck Sense of Emergency. Oh, damn. Wow, Hunters was so well equipped. Imagine if they were able to stabilize this situation and not lose 2 Hunters and 2 horses. That would have been brutal to deal with late game with double Renewed Vigor and double Forewarned and CG. And also, isn't Aggie in play? Yeah, Sister Agatha's in play too. And Heroic Leap. The Hunters were really well equipped. So, it's, you know, in that sense, it's good. You know, play from Herowwan to, you know, stick to the principles, supply. But, yeah, just, yeah, pulled the trigger too quickly, or, yeah. Well, I'm happy for Terminus to get the first win. Didn't really need to take as much sea damage, but hey, a win's a win. And that's all you can really do. But yeah, Hunters... I mean, I was going to say, this type of strategy is really, really, really hard to play against. So I'm not... I don't want to belittle Herowwan very much. Because this is very difficult. The way you have to try to do it is just let Dracula do whatever he wants, because eventually he's going to run out of room, because he's not going to risk going into a certain lair location where then multiple hunters are going to jump on you. You wait for Seward to come across, you've got 3 hunters prepared to deal with the east. You just slowly work your way around the trail in order. Eventually Dracula is going to get a little bit impatient, or maybe a little bit sloppy, and not go back to a lair but step onto a normal location. That's where you got Renewed Vigor, then you can pounce. Or Dracula just goes to sea, yeah, leaving you with loads of encounters to deal with, but if you're diligent and well supplied, and you can gang up on those new vampires, you know, 2-on-1, so you don't need as many stakes. You deal with all that, and then you rush back west to try and then catch him. And if you've held all of your really good events and not lost any of them, Dracula takes a bit of sea damage. Anything can happen in the 3rd week, 4th week. Especially as long as you haven't given up too much influence. If you want to, just let that triple vampire location mature, you're giving up 7 points, which is not good, but better than having to deal with everything else on the trail, and you just, book it west rather, as fast as you can. So yeah, that is a real learning curve there for Herowwan. And yeah, just maybe got a little bit too impatient with encounters and things. Oh, not encounters. Event cards. But it's really hard to be dealing with this type of thing. Terminus, yeah, played well. Did what he wanted to do in terms of running around the east and putting down lots of layers that were really difficult to deal with. And took advantage of his opponents, sort of maybe inexperience with the hunters or inexperience with facing that type of strategy. The CG in the end, the Heroic Leap and Consecrated Ground was actually not bad in the end, because it made Dracula take a lot more damage than maybe was necessary. I think Dracula could have stayed in the east and gone to Sarajevo, then potentially wolf formed. If he wanted to, he could have wolf formed to the castle or made his way to the castle while they were supplying up, and then escaped with a wolf form. Things would have started maturing, would have cleared the trail, made space for him to move around. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think losing two horses like that makes things a lot easier for you to do that. But because of the sea movement, the hunter defeat was mitigated a bit. Terminus got his first win of the tournament, so it's that's Fury of Dracula, basically. Again, if either of the two players are watching, it's very easy for me to sit here with A, experience, and also B, hindsight, and C, I haven't got the pressure of playing. I'm sitting here, in my office, chilling out, cup of tea, I'm not the one playing. I'm not the one who's playing the league positions or whatever, so it's very easy for me to sit here and go, that was a mistake, that shouldn't have been done. And we were all in this position once, where we're having to learn. And still, I'm not immune to, I won't speak for anybody else, but I'll say it for myself, I'm not immune to making mistakes. I'm not immune to getting my ass absolutely walloped. So yeah, what's Quincy saying? Better to see someone lose due to misplays and good plays rather than luck. Yeah, luck plays a factor, but in this case, Terminus played well, and Herowwan made some mistakes along the way. And the thing is, sometimes, it doesn't matter what side you're on, if you're Hunters or Dracula, you can make mistakes, but you don't get punished for them, right? They're not punishing mistakes, which is fine, but you still have to be able to sit there and go, where did I make mistakes? So I know for me, I don't know how people do it, but I'm quite meticulous in this sense, and I watch back my own footage of even games that I've won, not even games I've lost, games I've won, and I look and I go, that was a mistake, should have done that differently, that was risky. Even if I still won the game, I didn't get punished for it. In a case like this for Herowwan, he got really, really punished for those mistakes. The renewed vigor play where Mina was delayed doesn't work. Godalming, walking into a location he had no right to walking into. Sure, he might have ended up walking into, Sofia and those bats or something, but, shouldn't have gone to Valona. What else? And then, yeah, the misplay with Mina, right? You either escape route the second vampire during the day, and then you do nothing for the night phase, maybe heal, and then the next day phase you stake one, and then try to escape the other vampire. Or you just play the 2-day combats and try not to die. And you should, if you play it optimally, you should only take 4 damage. You shouldn't take any more than that, so she would live. And then you stake a vampire at night, and then use the escape route to get out of the night combat with the other one. So yeah, I think that was the problem. The mistakes that Herowwan made were just very punishing mistakes, so it amplifies them a lot more. That's the thing. But Herowwan will learn from it. Terminus will learn from it. We'll all learn from it. It's about being a new player, You learn a lot from your mistakes, and I think the difference is, I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, I had 6 months more or less of playing in friendly games before my first tournament. These guys are coming straight into a tournament environment, so maybe they're feeling a bit more pressure or whatever. But at the same time, the way I think of it is, yeah, sure, you're playing your first games more or less in a tournament, so it's harder. But at the same time, you're guaranteed the games, right? If you're trying to look for friendly games, you might go, I'm not going to play today. Whereas this way, you're guaranteed at least 16 games, 8 as hard as A as Dracula. And that's lots of time for you to really get into it, and you'll see your progress and improve and things. So, yep, that's just the way it goes. There's a nice little short stream. Very interesting game. Very different from the games we've seen before. It looks like Terminus has embraced the the personality, the personas of Spencer Wolfhart and Wessa Kajic. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the rest of the tournament. So yeah, take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. People who are watching live, I think it was only Quincy and Geordie who are live. So, gents, thank you very much for watching and talking along. And everybody who's been watching this after the fact, thank you very much for doing so. And especially to Herowwan and Terminus, all the best for the rest of the tournament, of course. And I'll see everybody in another video very soon. My evening plans have changed. I am unable to record the games this evening. Worm Talon's got games against Mr. Green and Quincy. So I think Captain Gyro can do the first one against Mr. Green, and then the second one where it's Quincy, Worm Talon, Met King, I think, can do the neutral perspective, I think. I assume there might be first-person perspectives as well. No worries, Geordie. You're most welcome. Thank you for watching along. And we'll see you in another League of Dracula video very soon. Take care, everybody. I am off out for dinner. See you soon. Bye-bye.